Jenny and Lindsay and this bitch, girl. Make you move your hips while sipping gin, girl. Make you bounce your tits like it's a jig, girl. Like boom, sip kombucha for your womb. Honesty and squad link up, it's like boom. The girls be giving you vibes. Tune in, chill out, and feel good inside. Like it girls. Hey, we the ish girls. We the ish girls. It girls. Hey, we the ish girls. We the ish girls. Like it girls. We the ish girls. I got Jenny and Lindsay and this bitch girls. Make you move your hips while sipping gin, girl. Make you bounce your tits like it's a jig, girl. Like it girls. Hey, we the ish.
Hey, gals. It's Galz Podcast here. This is Jenny.
This is Lindsay, and we have a very special, sexy, saucy guest. Say hello to Adam O'Reilly from Mind Puppers.
Mind Puppers Pod. What's up, Adam? What's up?
Nearly a year to the day, we're back here.
I know. How crazy.
Isn't that fucked up? Let's cheers to that.
Cheers.
We are in Cyprus Avenue. They have made us these absolutely stunning looking porn star martinis.
Yummy. Oh.
Fucking cheers.
We love supporting sex workers here, so we got a porn star
Absolutely.
martini, you know? That's some good shit. I'm going to hold mine and just really relax into this chat. So we're so excited to be here. Obviously, last time we were here, we were chatting to a sold-out crowd. Sold out.
Yeah,
sold
by the
out.
way, just remember that.
Sold out very quickly as well. Tickets flying out the damn door. But here we are.
And we can't wait to get back in here with the crowd. But until then, we thought what better than to come back to one of our favorite venue in Cork. We always perform here and do a little live show for you all sitting at home in the year that's in it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Just call us Mrs. Claus. We're giving you a little present out of our big old sack.
Exactly.
It's bursting with goodness.
And of course, we had to get a Cork native.
Yes.
You are very welcome.
Oh, I like that you have the leg cocked up there. You're getting comfortable. We love to see it here. We love to be comfortable. So what are we talking about today? This is a live podcast. This is different than our live shows where it's more comedian based. Yes, we're stand-up comics. What can't we do? We get asked that a lot. And I
struggle to get the answer.
Sing. I always say we're master of all trades. You know the way
it's like
jack of all trades, master of none. Jack of all trades, master of all trades.
Absolutely. Adam's like, hurry up. My payment doesn't cover until after 5 o'clock.
Can you get over this fucking stroking my own ego?
So today what we're going to do, instead of, it's our end of year kind of reflection. Extravaganza. But instead of looking back on a boring old depressing year, we thought, why not look, right? I always call this year is going to be like the 9/11 of the future. The 9/11 changed how we travel. It changed everything. This year, I feel, will change so much. We've already seen
What
impact.
did we change again? So we had to bring 9/11. We couldn't bring the little shampoo.
Huge. But also, all the security was up. All this, there was a lot of changes. People started getting very nervous. Flying, all of a sudden, it was like, not to get deep on you guys, but so
not
this
to get
year,
deep whilst talking about 9/11.
I love how the biggest travesty that you can pull from 9/11 was travel size shampoo bottles.
Dear God, I need 300 milliliters of shampoo and I need it now.
They don't sell my expensive shampoo in a travel size.
Have you not seen these locks?
Am I using Timotei? No. Sorry, it did affect me and I will complain.
So we're going to look forward, okay? This is what we're all about here. No looking back. Let's look forward, but let's have a think.
Predict.
In an Galz way, how prediction.
Yes, there's the word dick in that word, and that's why we're saying it like schoolboys. Prediction. There's a dick.
Don't leave me and Lindsay around a foggy window. That's all I say.
We will be drawing a big old cock up on that window.
So we wanted to get Adam on to have a little chat about 3 things. All right, so we're going to be talking about celebs. We're going to be talking about the culture in general. And we're going to be talking about dating. Because these are 3 things I think this year will have affected a lot.
Yeah, it will impact these 3 things. And we are going to be putting our tinfoil hats on and guessing what will happen happen. 2021, I think we're all ready for a brand new year. I did like saying 2020. I was very excited for 2020.
Me too. But do you know what? A prime number, isn't 21
And
a
I
prime
know
number?
it was a crazy year, but I actually had a good year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, sorry to those who lost their lives to COVID. That must not be good for you. But I had it personally, and touch wood, so far it's been going quite, I'm liking the year. I got to chill out in my house for ages. Like, I got to sleep whenever I wanted. Like, it was brilliant, that lockdown.
What a year for a professional layabout.
But I was just like, chilling.
But you know what? It was the rise of the gaff party.
Yeah, it brought the gaff party back, and it was beautiful.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about your gaff party situations.
What's the most
before
iconic
your
one you've
COVID
been to?
situation?
But you know what? Because before, you were never doing it. You were doing your pre-drinks, and then you were heading out into the town or whatever, and you lost the value of just staying and getting fucked in a gaff. And then whole not being able to go nowhere, and you're like, fuck, I love gaff drinking.
Do you know what? Every basic biatch on Instagram is like, I miss clubbing. And I'm like, why? What? We never spoke in the club. There was no human interaction. And that mixed with social media meant that when we were out with our friends, we weren't even talking. The fucking mad music in your ear and you're sweating and it's like...
I can't remember personally the last time I enjoyed a club. Now a pub.
Now, a pub,
Dear God, I love a pub.
Unless there's some trad action up in there, I'm like, shut
Yeah,
up.
no, me too.
We'll walk down now. And it's like, shut up. So I actually feel because we were what I really learned from this year, we did a podcast on, was that stepping away from your phone is a good thing, because we obviously all we had to connect with our friends and stuff was Zoom and phones and FaceTime. And I was like, this is not enough. I need to be held. I need to be touched. I need to fuck, all those things that I need to touch my friends, and not that I would.
No, we're podding. We're podding.
We're podding.
We're pods.
We're pods. Little peas and pods.
Two bitches with a pod. Podding.
But yeah.
Me and Lindsay are going to casually hold hands for the entire...
Is everyone okay with that?
Lindsay is my emotional support animal, and I'm hers.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, I do feel like it really brought back communication, and we were very hypersensitive about communicating. It really was and I think that was a great lesson that 2020 taught us, that social media ain't shit, but still follow us on our platform. But
Galz
we
Podcast.
need that contact and that actual eye in real life thing. So I love that about gaff parties, that we were yapping away, talking some bullshit.
Brought it all home.
I
So,
did.
shall we talk
While
about...
social distancing?
Yeah, shall we talk about just celebs?
Just celebs.
Let's talk. So, one thing I noticed, right? So, Lindsay and I, as all you mad bitches out there know, Lindsay and I, a lot of our content we extract, okay, from celeb culture, because people always love to throw that in your face, oh, you're reading about celebrities, what a waste of time. Excusez-moi. You can pull from celeb culture and learn so much about the culture at large, okay?
No, I always get slagged for liking celebs.
Yeah.
It's a highly intelligent thing to be liking.
Yeah. But what I figured...
Because, there's money in it. And I learned so much about I learned so much about how to podcast and how to be a celeb by watching others, such as Jade Goody, God rest her.
But
brilliant documentary that came out
what
this
was
year.
very sad about this year was that there was absolutely no celebrity stories. It showed that they need the confetti and the glad rags and the red carpets in order to give us some interesting content. The minute that
was there anything?
Well, them acting a damn fool.
Well, they never were able to translate.
What?
They were never able to translate to going from doing their movies and all this shit and making a fool of themselves on Ellen to now being Instagrammers and giving us that content online. They weren't capable.
I know. Do you know what I loved?
Leave that to us.
I loved when they were all guys, stay at home, walk around your mansion and go to your theater and watch a movie. It's
imagine.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about. That Imagine video. That made a goddamn show of celebrities, and I'm glad.
Christian wig and some kind of weird hat being imagine there's no people. And it's don't even try. Don't even try. I mean, I would flippin' love to have had lockdown as a celebrity in a mansion. Yes, I'd be fine with that, with my endless wads of
in
cash.
their fucking pool.
In LA, by the way.
Yeah. In LA, gorgeous.
You have one season.
And like, you're on holiday. That's not like...
This is actually the best thing for you. You can finally enjoy your millions.
Yeah, celebrities are always moaning about, like, I'm never at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like wondering
now you're
when I'm going to wipe my
enjoy
asshole
that
with.
gaff.
So what do you think, Adam? Well, okay, let's talk about an iconic moment. Let's talk about that Imagine video, because that
Who
is
was
where...
in it again? So Kristen Wiig, I remember.
Kristen Wiig, I mean, they were all in it. I can't even remember. I just remember...
a whole array.
Do you know what my favourite moment of it was?
That's good.
Who chose black and white? Because it's political. Let's take out the colour. Imagine
Was it all black and white?
It was in black and white, right? I remember.
black and white, I
Yeah.
think.
What did you?
I didn't notice
Do you
that.
have any? When did you first see that, Adam? What were your?
I saw it and I was like, oh, that's decent of them. I was like, rallying together? They don't have to do that. And then it's like...
You loved it. I forgot you posted it on your...
Okay, but wait.
You loved it.
In theory, at first, I was like, yes. I was like, how decent of them. They're just real ordinary people. And then as I watched it back, and there was a whole like plateau of other ones that came out, and I was like seeing like their pool glistening in the background, and I was like seeing like this big fuck off kitchen, and I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm supposed to think that like we're in this together while your fucking maid is minding your children and cooking your dinner
While
behind
I'm collecting
you.
the COVID doll.
Yeah.
Which made many feel like celebrities for a little minute.
I love it. They're like, imagine there's no heaven. I'm like, bitch, heaven is in your mansion.
I was like, I don't know
Yeah,
if there's
you're
going to be
in heaven.
toilet paper tomorrow for me to wipe my asshole. I can't do this.
Oh my gosh.
We are not the same.
Guys, we
No.
are one and the same. But that really showed the celebs. I feel that showed their true lack thereof creativity.
Well, it was very much, I think, in the past few years, celebrities before Instagram and before all of that, they were these enigmas, this mysterious beacons who are like so incredibly talented and have somehow gone to this fame, and they were untouchable. We didn't know much about them. They're private, you know. But then with social media, they're basically like, you know, we're seeing Chrissy Teigen having a stillbirth and it's photographed. And I mean, I liked that she showed that, but sorry, it's a dick pic. But like I did like, you know, it's like, stop trying to connect with the normal. Like, recognize your privilege. You're like above us all. Enjoy it.
Well, that's the problem with celebrity culture now, I feel.
Hello. You know?
But that's why celebrity culture, I do think, has died over the last few years, because I'm like, they're all trying to relate to us too much. Whereas like someone that Adam and I love is Lana Del Rey, of which, you know, Journal Gate girls. This is why we're 2 meters apart. We can't stop fighting. He's tried to strangle me 3 times.
They've been fighting in the changing room.
Lindsay's been like holding us apart. But you know, the one reason why I've always really admired Lana Del Rey and Rihanna is that I feel like they do celebrity well.
And Kate Moss. Kate Moss does it amazingly. She rarely gives interviews, and if she ever does, it's like, my favourite Christmas walkers. It's like, oh, come on, tell me, were you on heroin when you were in
But we don't want the curtain pulled.
No.
You know?
Don't break the fourth wall.
I don't want to know that you're a normal, depressed person. You know, give me something to strive for.
Oh, exactly. But it's like, if you're goddamn depressed, what hope does that give me?
I'm going to put this here just...
Okay.
I know you don't spill, but I
don't,
reaching,
but that is like...
But like the whole thing
major
was...
2020 energy, like
it is
on edge at all times.
This will drive people actually insane watching it. I know it will.
Okay, so let's think about 2021. So so we definitely had a big, like, I was going on Daily Mail and I was like, come on, give me something. Oh, great. Kate Ferdinand is pregnant.
Did you have any,
is pregnant.
I have a very exciting potential 2021 moment.
Okay.
So, like, we've obviously seen the last couple of days, you've seen that YouTuber Jake Paul calling out Conor McGregor, okay?
Yes.
Which I'm into when he was like, what's up, you Irish cunt?
Calling D Devlin a 4 was...
But no, and do you know what? I was like, that is bad. Okay, I recognize that. At the same time, didn't Conor McGregor call, you know, that guy's wife a towel because of her, like, burqa get up?
It's fighting words. And also, he did that because it's like, Conor McGregor is known for running his mouth. So he has to fight fire with fire. Come for him as he comes for everyone else. That's smart.
But also, he has, you know, treated D Devlin quite
That's
badly.
exactly
So
what...
it's like, you can't expect others to respect you. And a beautiful girl, but whoa, that read was good.
It was a good
great read.
Jake Paul read that situ too.
But like, roasted. Boom, roasted. But
say it. When you're like, roasted.
Boom, roasted. but I said in the podcast of the day, I was like, look, whatever, yes, Jake Paul hit a low belt, whatever, but at the end of the day, I was like, no one has disrespected Dee Devlin more than her husband, Conor McGregor.
And I found it so funny that people were like, it's not so disrespectful. Irish people are so funny to like jump on the tricolour bandwagon. I'm like, guys, we all know what's going on there. And you're giving it about Jake Paul, just calling her a 4. I mean, come on.
Well, he obviously knew, and I could actually feel Conor's rage. He obviously knew that is how you cut him. That is how you...
Yeah.
Like... Connor visibly is clearly so into looks and appearance and how he's perceived. So for Jake Paul to say your wife is a 4 or your fiance, that is the lowest thing that you could say to him.
So what do you think is going to happen with that?
Well, the most iconic thing about it all was that the only person Jake Paul follows on Instagram is Dee Devlin.
Iconic.
But, right, so...
And the other guy's wife as well.
That guy who's fighting McGregor, who's scheduled. But the thing is, right... It doesn't. Conor hasn't bitten. There's nothing going ahead. Dana White, right, has said that he'd rather sooner Jake fight. I think is her name Amanda Nunes.
Yeah,
is that right?
Something like that.
So basically, if I've got the name wrong, but she's meant to, like regarded as the number 1 female UFC fighter at the minute. He was like, I'd rather you fight her. She quoted that, right, and said, I'm in. So I'm like, can we have a 2021 where we have UFC fight between Jake Paul, Amanda, man versus woman? Finally, something we can get behind.
Finally, we're going to figure out which is the better gender.
But it's like, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's like, how do you... Like, we're going to be cheering for this guy beating this woman up, and I'm like, go on, get her. But I'm allowed to do that now, you know?
Yeah,
Finally.
Where do we think like celebs are going to go in the future? Because I feel like they're a bit lost. You know, they're chasing their tail a bit. Because there's no movies, right? Movies can't be made anymore, basically, because there's no fucking cinemas. They can't do shit. Musicians can't do gigs, unfortunately. You know, it's like, it seems like a bit of an endless thing. I'm like, are they going to be, do you think they're going to like retreat into their little celebrity cave and maybe go back to being a good celebrity? Or are they going to continue to try and be like, I'm just like you guys?
We're going to see, I'd say, a lot of small, like, artistic passion projects. So they're all so artistic now, kind of a thing.
Crossing genres.
I forgot I used to paint, and I actually missed it. You know,
Kristen Wiig is going to be the next Jackson Pollock. She'll be like, guys.
Or like, who is it? Lucy Liu. Apparently she's like a painter, but she uses like a different name.
Oh, really? That's quite cool. Lucy Liu's cool.
Lucy Liu is cool. Ever
really
since...
Cool.
Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
Yeah. And when she was on Sex and the City, she was so good. And she played herself.
I did not know she was in Sex and the City.
She played herself, and it was about the Birkin bag, the Hermes Birkin bag. It was a great episode.
I said Samantha Mumba.
Samantha
Jones.
Samantha Mumba was also brilliant in Sex and the City.
Yeah, brilliant. So what about influencers? What do we think? Like, what was your worst moment of influencers in 2020?
The trend that I can't get behind, right, is when these idiots... especially these like fashion bloggers and stuff. They're like, they want to get like a picture of their
get up, show us that fine.
They want to get a picture
body.
of the outfit, okay? And they're like, they want to include the shoe.
Oh,
so they do this. They're like that. I'm like, sit down, you fucking idiot.
I hate that.
You're trying to make
Air
it look
Force
like a fashion pose.
They're like,
yeah, exactly.
Girl.
They're like, oh, I need to get the shoe. I need to get my fucking fat ass hoof in.
I don't need to see your clod hopper.
And I'm like, and you can see some of them are straining. Beads of sweat coming off their forehead, and I'm like, oh my god, why? No one needs to see your fucking shoot that back. Step back.
It's like,
from
it's
the
a Doc
camera.
Martin or it's an Air Max. Look, we're all wearing it. There's two things you can be wearing, and it's really not that exciting.
I'm wearing a dirty old boot, but I really can't with the TikTok mouthing to like really. Like to someone who's so much better than you. Like you're talking about, you know, you're cosplaying as Megan Fox in some movie that she said something sassy and you are in your mum's box room mouthing along being like, well, maybe I am that sassy bitch movie.
I know.
It's like, honey, I know you haven't got laid all year. Don't be... Oh, no, do you know what I actually can't fucking stand? This is one thing that's really getting right up the crack of my ears. Girls calling themselves bad bitches. Like, when they are not bad. Like, if you're calling yourself a bad bitch... Guaranteed, you're a good little girl. You're a nice girl.
Yeah.
Like, what's bad about you?
You
what
full
is
on
bad?
still have your confirmation money in your bank account.
And what are you saying that's bad? Like, are you cheating? And is that a good thing?
No, just an attitude.
I'm just a bad bitch. It's like, you were crying 2 days ago on fucking Instagram. There's nothing bad about you.
The mouthing thing fucking drives me mad as well, though. Do you know what I hate? When they try and weave it in really casually. They're like doing a makeup tutorial and they're like, What the hell are you talking about? I'm like,
you know, I don't fuck with men.
You do know that you're not Billie Eilish and that is not your song. Like, and you're not going to be like, she's not going to see it and be like, oh, here you go.
Is it Jessica,
I will give it to you.
Is it Jessica's Body with Megan Fox? They're all putting the lighter up to their tongue.
Guys, that was CGI, okay?
But also, it's Megan Fox.
Yeah.
She was like her hottest in that movie.
Her second name is Fox. She's a fox. She's Scarlett now. No, back then.
She gave us some content this year. She gave us content this year. Great content
Machine Gun Kelly.
She broke, Machine Gun Kelly, and she commented. They had a tweeting war. Her and Brian Austin, her
love a good tweeting war.
ex-husband.
I love it when they let loose on Twitter.
So he put up a picture on Halloween with the kid and saying like, I'm having a great Halloween. And she tweeted or commented being like, do you have to like use the kid, blah, 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 like giving out to him for like cosplaying as this perfect dad, trying to vilify her because she's like rolling around with Machine Gun Kelly.
I'm into that. So into that.
You're into
it.
So
do you
into
fancy him?
I think he's just very good looking. I think he's very talented.
Okay, he looks like Justin the Turkey with tattoos.
I don't know. He does. I don't know any of it. Is he a musician? Is he
Maybe
a rapper?
That's how they met on on his music video.
He took off with that Eminem diss track.
Swag for him having her in his music video.
No,
that's cool.
Oh yeah, no, he's swagging to fuck. Megan Fox, babes.
She looks
Blink
good.
twice if you're still with us.
I think she still looks good.
I think when she went down the surgery route, it kind of got a bit rangium.
I think she was always down the surgery route, though. That's what made that beautiful.
She got
face.
a bit plain Janey.
Yeah,
just like I get it.
It was the gender neutral kids.
Yeah,
for me.
that really threw it over the edge. And Brian Austin and her, and he's asking for spousal support. Cringe.com.
Do you think like the influencer game is going to change in the years to come? Because like the TikTok thing, right? So everyone's blowing up on TikTok really quick, as are their egos. Like we are seeing people with 1K go up to like, I love it when they have it in their bio, TikTok 500K. Yeah, well on Instagram you've got 1.5.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
Translated.
You have 50,000 6-year-olds following you.
Luna's probably followed them from her 8 accounts. All the 6-year-olds are getting locked out of their TikTok.
Luna keeps on getting locked out of TikTok because she forgets the password and shit.
She has about 8 accounts.
I know. So like, and she's like, how many followers do I have, Mom? I'm like, together? You have
have
10K.
Together. But you know what? I think just before we leave the TikTok, the whole talking into makes me very horny sometimes.
Oh!
It does. I can't help it. It makes me very horny.
Is there a particular trend that makes you horny?
Well, you see, no, because I don't fuck with TikTok anymore because of the whole Chinese spyware.
Absolutely.
I'm not doing it anymore. But sometimes...
Oh, no, baby.
The odd time someone will send me something because they know what I'm into, and I'm like, makes me very horny. But I think in terms of the whole social media people... Now, say if we're going into another lockdown in 2021, oh my God, because I personally believe that everybody who is on social media and like talking into a camera is deeply, deeply broken.
Oh, very, very much so.
Okay, so true, mic drop. Thank you guys, we're done.
So I 100% believe that we're going to see a lot more breakdowns, a lot more people crying into the camera, especially the unoriginal people that don't have an original thought in their heads. Because they have nothing. What are they going to talk about? They're going to have to cry. They're going to have to cry. Yeah. You know?
And I've deeply regretted it. I have cried on the gram. And even saying that makes me feel like a dumbass. Like, I was seeing a guy, still seeing him. Hopefully when this goes out, I am still seeing him. But like,
boyfriend.
And I like had seen him 2 nights before, and then I put up like a crying selfie. He was like, why the fuck are you crying on Instagram? I was like, leave me alone. It's called being a blogger.
And ladies, that is called the ick. That is probably a male ick. Women crying on Instagram.
Women crying in general.
Oh, well, yeah, but on the gram?
The gram is next level.
Well, you're a veteran on Instagram, and you've earned your spot to cry.
I agree.
I've disclosed my mental health struggles, and sometimes I need to spit out a tear for a bit of attention if I'm getting a lot of hate. So take what you will from that.
That's, the swing. That's like the balancing scale. So do we think influencers will be, what is it? Are we going to get more influencers now because of this bullshit?
Well, yeah, I was noticing definitely in COVID, there was like bitches who had like 2K are like, hey, my little sweet bitches, let's talk relationships.
I know. The micro influencer is really the new devil.
Oh my goodness, they are an unstoppable force.
The under 10Ks. And look, sweetie, I hope you get that 10K. I truly do.
And I can see you are working very hard to try and get that.
You've
10K.
got the balloons pre-booked.
Isn't that the worst? Isn't that the worst?
That
when
is
they have
the
that
worst.
10K mile, you guys lift the fucking leg up for the photo.
I saw a girl who had a surprise party. Someone gave her a surprise party.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
There was a cake, there was cupcakes, there was a...
people have worms for
But,
brains.
like, I mean...
Worms.
No one in my family, bar Rilo, gives a flying fuck if I get to another K.
Yeah.
Like, really, what is it? In truth.
No, it's nothing.
Nobody, as in the only
It's
thing
monopoly money.
My mom will celebrate it is if I get offered like an ad for like Amazon Prime Video,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
can pay rent this week.
Well, yeah. I mean, secure the bag by all means.
Yeah.
I will never take anyone's bag away from them in many ways. Well,
Do you think we could get more cocktails, or is that rude?
maybe
If we could maybe get a cocktail, that would also be so wonderful. Because I'm really loving that cocktail. Cyprus Avenue, guys, for cocktails.
nothing not glamorous. Do you know what I love in this?
4-star martinis
The
are
vanilla
so...
hint. The vanilla hint is beautiful. I'm getting a vanilla undertone.
Is that a bit of egg to make the foam?
Yeah, I think so. It's
It's
very
beautiful
nice.
oaky afterbirth.
If we could get some more cocktails, that would be
Beautiful.
wonderful, and I'll spill some crazy shit. So, Adam, what do you think celebrities will do? So you think we'll continue?
Well, like I said, they're so desperate for attention and they're not getting it in their TV shows and their promotions, doing all the talk shows, whatever. Activism is the next natural step. You know, never have so many white folk celebrities cared about BLM. You know, never. Oh, but now they do.
Was Imagine for BLM? I think it was.
I know. I thought Imagine was just like
No, it was for
COVID.
lockdown, I think. Just
It was
lockdown.
for lockdown.
Yeah.
Which, it's like, you know, like the Wheel of Fortune. It's like the Wheel of Activism. Which one was it for? BLM activism?
Oh, I know. You're like, what do you want about again? No, I agree. And the activism is the most obvious way to get, like, I mean, stop pretending like you actually give a fuck. You know, if I went on tomorrow and did a big story about BLM or trans rights or whatever, I'd be getting a lot of engagement because I'm talking about something and I'm trying to cosplay as this, like, we have to stand up for these people.
Well, it's the easiest way to soapbox, right? You're up on your
pretend that it's
soapbox.
not for you.
There's no reasonable way that you can get like a huge amount of hatred because you're like in your mind siding on the good side. So it's like, but the thing is that they like pigeonhole themselves so much because they're like, I'm good, I care about all the rights, and then people are like, why don't you care about the animals who identify as humans and the foxes who identify as dogs? You're
or
leaving them out.
amputees. What about the amputees? I don't see any representation
But
of that.
I do think they're all going to go into. They're going to double down on the activism for
They have
sure.
to. I remember during when BLM was at its peak, and a lot of us were talking about it because it was very interesting. A lot of us were learning and shit. But there was these like certain influencers you could tell didn't have a whole lot of depth to them or whatever, and they had like, you know, an 8 post story like talking about Black Lives Matter and how so important it is to them and how they don't feel right even coming on and talking during a time like this. And then in the very next fucking story they'd be like, so here's what I got on Boohoo. And you're like, oh, you
Or my
pathetic
favorite
sack of
was,
shit.
you know what my fucking favorite that the influencers did with the BLM shit? Oh, it was transparent. When they had just done an Amazon order, problematic in itself, of a load of like black authors' books being like, don't touch my hair, and like the black women struggling, they're like, educating myself, and it'd be like their manicured hand.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, I'm not ready to speak on it. I just don't
with
feel
a grainy
educated
filter on it. They're like, aesthetic, BLM, but make it aesthetic.
No, you know what really pissed me the fuck off during all this is when you had these influencers who was coming on preaching, and they were like, oh my God, racism still exists? I didn't know this was going on. And you're like, oh, shut the fuck up.
I mean, for me, with the BLM stuff, it was... I couldn't stand when they were just resharing stuff and then being like, just want to say, no, it's the people who aren't saying anything. It's like, you're not saying anything.
You're sharing
you're
an
just
infograph.
sharing shit.
You're sharing a millennial pink infograph made by a 16-year-old.
Yeah, to try and make yourself look like you
that
give
you
a
haven't
fuck.
even fact-checked.
No.
You don't care.
It's like
Stop pretending.
99.9 Black Americans are killed.
So this is a good segue.
What the fuck are we doing here, guys? It's like, no, that's not true.
Good segue into our
Segue.
next. Whenever we say segue, we think of the actual segue. Me and Lindsay whipping around on
topic.
segways. Do you know? Here's a random fact. Do you know that the man who invented segways died on a segway?
How?
He segued off a cliff.
Oh, it's so poetic.
Isn't that insane?
Suicide or no?
No,
Don't
I
mean to
think
laugh.
it went too fast.
He's going too fast.
He leaned in and he can't get up.
I heard that they're not making Segways anymore because of the scooters. Scooters, they thought Segways were going to be the thing.
And that be the free market.
Remember the Garda Síochána were going around in fucking Segways? Did I dream that?
I know.
Did I dream that?
Down Grafton Street they did, yeah.
I was like, walk,
that
you
was
fucking
happening.
lazy pig.
It's like when you see...
Get on a horse, will you, for God's sake?
Get on a fucking
Now,
horse.
the couples, they are very fucking intimidating. When you see a horse and a big...
Yeah.
A pig and a horse, sorry. Two very different animals, excuse me. But yeah, they're popping down Grafton Street. You're like, whoa.
No, I'm scared. I'm scared.
It's just because the Segway doesn't really go that much faster than
Look,
you
Segway
walking
is
at a
nerd
brisk fucking
vibes.
pace.
It's nerd vibes. Yeah. You have to go like this angle to go in any way fast.
Thoughts on scooters, nerd or not?
Like, I'm so sorry, officer. You know?
Let me degrease your glasses for you so you can write my ticket.
Scooters, I'm very into, right? Because I spent last summer in Miami. Shut up, Jenny.
My favorite was on your podcast where you were like, I lived in Miami for a while. Like, Carla's like, for how long? And you were like, I went on holidays for 2 weeks there.
It was a week, you bitch.
I spent my summer in Miami.
Well, 6 days. I spent a night in Philadelphia.
I loved the stories, though. You were wearing the Versace swag. It was gorgeous.
But in the city, they did the whole scooter thing. So you download the app, and you literally will just like go up to a scooter. There's like 20 in a line.
Oh, live for this.
You pay your like $2.50 or whatever for the hour. Like, hold your
cheap.
phone up, scooter unlocks, and then it literally flies around the city. It's insane.
Oh,
it's incredible.
Fair play.
And they go so fast.
A blogger I used to follow, a YouTuber, died in London on one.
Oh my God,
her boyfriend
really?
bought her a scooter and she died on the scooter. So I'm not for
Public
me.
safety
What
announcement,
happened?
girlies.
Well, like, you're so vulnerable in those things.
And they're on the road, which is random.
And what I don't find, I'm like, first of all, there's two types of people on the scooters: the drug dealers or the nerds. And the nerds, they have their satchel, but like they're not wearing a helmet. I'm like, no, but you're a nerd. You should wear a helmet. Like you're literally on the road speeding on this scooter. That's insane.
I think we said this exact bit on the podcast.
We did. It's like a comedy bit.
Yes, they're like, here's the old scooter joke.
The same thing.
So this is a good segue, as I'm saying, before we segued into Segway talk, into mode of transport talk, into the culture. Okay, so we're talking about activism. This year was like, I do feel like there was rose and thorns of it, because we were all sat in. We obviously, with BLM, there was so much like stuff brought to light. Obviously, it was the first time. Like, some people think that this was the invention of BLM. Honey, it's been going on a fucking while, but this was the first time I think everyone was able to sit down and absorb it all fully, like constantly. So that was great. But I wonder where, like, do we think there's such a rose and a thorn with online activism, I feel? Because in one hand, I do think that, like, Instagram is basically our own news channel. Like Lindsay and I, we are streaming here. We're streaming on our own YouTube channel. We have our own TV channel. It's incredible. However, there is also like the complete unregulated amount of content you're getting. Do you know what I mean? So like, how did you feel, and how do you feel like it will change like that kind of activism? Do you think online activism is productive or not?
See, my whole issue with online... what's the word?
Activism.
I was somewhere else. I was still on Segways.
Online Segways.
My issue with it is, yes, obviously it is proved to be an invaluable tool, okay, in terms of getting information from the people, because we know how corrupt the mainstream media can be, you guys. But the whole thing is, it gives this people this false sense of like achievement when, okay, we've have something trending, and oh my God, so 100,000 people have retweeted, this horrible thing that happened. But I think it gives people this false sense of, we've achieved something, when really you should be like the BLM protest and you should be out rioting on the streets, not doing hashtags.
Well, I think, there's a space for protesters. For me, I'm not a protester. I don't like to be on the streets with all these hippies and their weird signs with fallopian tubes. It ain't me. It won't ever be me. And I do feel like I am more perplexed as why are you still on the streets when you can be in the comfort of your own home and doing the same activism?
Well,
I think uproar, anarchy.
I get you. I feel I see the both sides of it, right? So I agree with you in one sense that I think that sometimes like the anarchy and all that crazy stuff is the only thing that will maybe make the like powers that be listen. However, I also think that I remember like reading an article about it, and they were kind of saying that like protesting is a very outdated model, because the whole point of protesting was to show the powers that be the actual numbers of people, right? So like, it's, say if you think of like the 1968 protests in Paris with the students, they're all turning up. So all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, it's not just one person being like, I care about this. All of a sudden you've got 10,000 people.
Yeah.
But the thing is that like, have we not moved past that, because we have the tool of the internet that can actually show, say, the trending topics, or like, I think that there's a power in the internet as well.
But in some ways, but then if every massive Instagrammer in Ireland, which I imagine that they all bought a lot of their followers. So if you can buy followers, surely you can like set up a load of pages to like create petitions and that kind of shit. So it's kind
Which
of
has
hard
been happening
to
with the
know
election.
actually what is authentic, and even like, I mean, people that I saw talking about BLM, I'm like, bitch, do pull the other one. You don't give a flying fuck about this. You're just trying to use this to feel good about yourself. It's completely self-serving.
Ding, ding.
Oh, thank you so
Cocktail
much. Also, adoring your t-shirt.
Oh, you've got the little socks!
Oh my goodness, jealous.
Oh my God, that is swag alert.
Are they? I thought they were like very
time.
rare. I really need the
Thank
runners.
you very much.
Pretty rare, but as far as I know, they are still available. But some people are able to sell them for about 200 quid now.
Stop.
Put them on me.
Well, do you know what? You might be able to sell them on a fetish site for even more.
Yeah, true.
You could start worn.
We had a girl on a while ago and she sold her used knickers.
Yeah. So
For €40.
Worn
Threw them
little
in an
socks. I'm
envelope.
thinking a grand, hun. I think you can get them out there.
Coordinator at Cyprus Avenue, worn for like at least a day.
Yes,
There you go.
exactly.
You've
If
heard
you
it
need
here
the shout
first.
out, we'll give it to you.
Okay, so so what do you think? Do you think that people are? I do get it that you though, Adam, in the sense that like it is the easiest and laziest way to fake caring.
Yeah.
So while the internet can be adapted to spread mass information, which is fantastic, it also leans into just people being like, I've done my part, here's my black square, and good night, here's the boo-hoo
100%.
hall.
But it's just got so
100%.
hyperbolic. Like, I didn't sign up to Instagram because it was like a political fucking. I wouldn't have signed up for that. I signed up for random pictures of my friends and their fashion and beauty talk. Now I can't hop like. You can't hop on Instagram without some dumb bitch who's only got followers because she is good at makeup telling me about like feminism.
Well, yeah, that's the worst. I do hate that because, like, don't get me wrong, there are some people that I will follow.
Okay there,
because sorry, I'm getting emotional. I'm
You
getting
want to come over to
emotional.
pod number 2?
Guys, it's the
Can I
egg.
go to
It's
his
the egg
pod?
white. It's the egg white. Okay. There are some people that like I might follow. Like, say I discovered through BLM, maybe they're activists, and I will follow them specifically, maybe for political content. Right? Very few.
Consensual
Very few.
activism.
Yeah, but then it is weird when you do get the odd like Mua, who I'm like, honey, I'm here for your highlighter tips. I'm not here for your, and this is this whole thing of people feeling like the pressure from social media to have to weigh in on everything. Then it's like, honey, I don't really trust what the hell you're saying.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like you have to be everything.
yeah.
And I do think because being an influencer is such a made-up job, they just are pulling at anything. They're like,
There's no job
maybe I'll
description.
be a travel influencer, or maybe I'll be an activism influencer. It's like, okay, we get it. You want attention.
But you can
We'll
tell
give it-
when it's genuine. When
Yeah.
it's genuine and you hear someone talking about something that they're passionate about and that they believe in, then you can respect that. But the whole thing is, I think that we're all kind of on the same side as when you see people using activism as what you call it,
Like a way to kind of gain attention and followers.
yeah,
and stuff.
as like
Yeah. A self-serving
fake-
mechanism.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
and that is the devil.
That
well, that's
is-
totally.
Yeah.
Like I very much respect George Michael. God rest him.
Oh, now that was the swaggiest thing
He
I've
got
ever
dragged by media, like with the whole, the bathroom and the
dogging.
wanking, whatever he was doing.
seen. That's some ex-gal activity, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, he's legend alert.
Make
But-
dogging great again.
But he, was dragged by the media, seen as this like dirty man, and when he died, so many stories came out about people who had met him in cafes, and he paid for their tuition, and he was apparently such a generous man to charities, but he never used that to try and showcase his niceness when
He
he
was
was
like
being dragged
anonymously.
online.
He
in the
asked for
media.
it to be kept secret, didn't
Yeah.
he? So that's actually another good segue into another part. Lindsay, you're reading my mind today. This pod is working out quite
Mind
well.
poppers.
Mind popped. So I want to talk about, because what also happened with, so activism, obviously we're all sat on our phones, okay? The three of us all have some pretty hefty social followings. But I think that another thing where people were sat at home on their phone, I think cancel culture this year was like...
Ouch.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, obviously, like, really sad. I mean, I only realized that was this year that Caroline Flack died. And we learned nothing.
Learned absolutely nothing. It actually, I think, made the trolls feel like, it works. I can kill people.
I remember when she died, because every, like, summer or whatever, I'll do, like, the Love Island roundups, whatever. Great clout in it. But there's a lot of people that do that online. And at the day, and it was incredibly sad, obviously. But I remember when she died and all these influencers came on and they were like, you know what? I don't think I can see out the rest of this season. I don't think I can cover the rest of this season because of what happened. And I don't know where I stand. You know, how much blood is on my hands? And then I'm like, okay, are you for real? I was like, this is the third fucking suicide death from Love Island.
Yes.
And now you choose to play the, well, I don't know what part I played in this.
Well, I
think,
think
oh, eat my
with
shit.
You're like, episode 42.
I think, but this was the one that was more so directly related to her fame, I feel. Because of the domestic abuse incident and that being everywhere and her feeling like her career was gone. We just learned about it before we went on stage on Vicar Street. It was so weird. Like, Jenny was on the bed. I was getting my makeup
I was on
done.
my phone and I just saw Caroline Flack trending. And I was like...
It was shocking.
Caroline Flack is dead. And Lindsay was like, sorry, what? And I'm like, I know, I'm literally reading this as I'm learning. I just clicked into the trending topic.
Yeah.
And like, the weirdest thing was, is like, obviously that happened and it kind of feeds into the online activism thing, because now we just see people covering their bases, right? You've got the black square and you've got hashtag be kind in your bio, yet you're like, who knows what
You're still
doing.
vilifying one person. We only saw it the other week when a guy made IGTV. I think he was from Limerick or something.
Yeah.
And people were dragging him. And it's like, fair enough, you don't agree with what he's saying, but you are...
What was it again?
He was talking about the photos that were leaked on that Discord thing. And he was saying, like, you know, using that word like all men, and it kind of like...
He was trying to explore the thing, like, you know, probably... not in the most eloquent way, but like,
but all of us aren't
I know.
eloquent. No, I know.
Totally. That's the nature of the beast.
But for
you know
me,
what I mean?
it's like I did now previously on the podcast, which we admitted when we did we did an episode post her death, and prior to her death, we had dragged her. We were, not that there's blood in our hands, but like we did play a part in that whole
we fed into
virality.
Well, shame on you.
I know. I brought up the fact that like Harry and her, and like, you know, insinuating that she was.
But the whole thing
Jimmy
is
fucking Savo. Like
the whole thing is, that's the thing about celebrity culture. You know, you understand that you're selling your soul for a part of this.
Yeah.
It is a horrible machine. People will build you and build you and build you up, and then people love nothing more than to take you down off the pedestal. So, I mean, I think that it's a disgusting side of human nature, but we love it.
Since that, I really did, and I did learn from that, and I continue to
and I
keep
agree with
that in my
Same.
head. Like, I do not call out people by name, and anytime I see a friend of mine who's like on Instagram and commenting mean stuff under someone's video or calling out people by name, I'm like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
It's cancel culture. No matter how important or necessary you think it is bullying one particular person, and you're a cunt for doing it.
And this is the thing that people have started to do now, because I think from the from the fallout of Caroline Flack's like admittedly tragic death, people are now like, okay, cancel culture is bad, but they're looking for a way to do cancel culture like morally. So they're like, it's education. We're holding you accountable. I'm so over that
Who are
phrase.
you to hold me accountable?
Who are you, the moral arbiter of right and wrong?
And the thing about it is this whole cancel culture at the moment is so reductive, because time and time again, I've seen somebody fuck up whatever years ago, and then to have those people, not just like, because I'm all about someone says something, check them.
Yeah.
And let them grow.
I would do it privately as well.
Yeah,
there's
but there's this
DMs
thing
for
of
a reason.
holding them by the throat and just constantly battering them, never allowing for growth.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the point if this person is not to grow?
It's so reductive.
I'm like, what's the point?
And always slapping them with labels. Like if they say the N-word in a song, you're instantly called racist, where it's like...
And they know the power of that label, and that's the weird and very nefarious aspect of it, I feel. They know how the power of a label nowadays, especially if you were online, like,
sticks.
you know, racist, misogynist, whatever you want to throw out there, any of the ists, especially, they're extra spicy. If you label someone with that will come up forever and ever and ever, amen. And that they know, and that is the nefarious part of it. They know the power of the word, and they know how easy it is to throw out there. So what do you think, Adam? So obviously, I mean, we saw, like, you know, the Jeffree Star,
Shane Dawson was gone. How did
Shane
you feel about
Dawson.
that? You were a fan of him.
Love Shane Dawson. I actually...
You have his makeup.
Okay, well, let's reel it in. No, I don't.
He has a mirror.
Story
It's
today.
his mirror.
A mirror.
It's
Oh,
his-
sorry.
his black
You wear a full face. Sorry, that sounded like I was dragging your ass.
He's like, you're like exposing him.
You love makeup, yeah?
You Irish cunt.
Adam Mua.
No, I got his mirror. My friend Kate, who is a fan of this podcast, the Galz
shout
Podcast.
out.
Hey, honey.
She got me the mirror because we were obsessed with the documentary. Him and Jeffrey did the documentary, this whole conspiracy palette. He was doing a little black pig mirror.
Yeah.
So she got me that for my birthday.
Cute gift.
And I literally had a picture up the other day in my room of, I was like, here guys, this is where all the
Were
magic
people coming
happens.
for you?
Yes, where all the magic happens. And it was like
Come
fucking, my desk was disgusting. There
It was
hair.
hilarious.
There was pubic
You
hair.
were
on
like,
it.
you were like
Pubic
tap
hair.
to clean, and then the next one you were like,
Get a
grow up,
life.
get a life.
Do I look like Mrs. fucking Hinch to you? And then people were like, oh, I noticed that you have an old Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson mirror there in the background.
Oh, for God's
That's
sake.
nothing to be proud of. I was like,
First of all, yes, it is. It's
First
sold
of all,
out.
it was really hard to
got
guess.
yeah, I was like, get off my dick. You know? Like, it's only
So
your-
sad
only
that
your
he's
fucking.
gone
I was like,
now.
'cause I like to think I'm an informed person. You know, I really do. So whenever these people will message me, especially as well when I think I liked a picture.
I thought you were like, especially you.
Especially
when you
you.
come for me on your close friends.
Oh, shit.
I remember I liked one of Casper Walsh from Versatile's pictures.
Oh, Hunty, been
People
there.
wrote to me, and I was like, let me just tell you this one thing. Okay, while I may be on here talking shit on my camera, I was like, my priorities are in check. Come see about me. I don't need some funter telling me, what do you do? Just there, and they were like,
No,
FYI, Casper Walsh is blah blah, and I was like, I don't give a fuck.
No, but like, how dare you? And and I'm saying it, I really like Versatile. I'm a lover of music, and I really think that what they're doing is good. They are, and he's lovely, and we both follow him. And obviously, the whole thing went down this year. I was Team Casper. Call me whatever you fucking like. I could give a flying bollock. But I mean, I love their music as well. I feel like it's like the perfect mix of like really observational, comedic, but it's truthful, it's authentic, and it's fun, and you can dance to it. And they're nice guys, and they like whatever. They're
like,
a bit of lad, whatever.
They got called out. And they apologized.
And he gave proof.
I think they apologized to the point, not even that, but taking it back to some like maybe racially insensitive lyrics. They apologized. And I felt like it seemed very authentic and feel like I'm like, what? They made a mistake. Are we not going to let them to grow?
And they took the song down that everyone moaned
Exactly. Like, allow them to grow. We have this fantastic, talented Irish rap group.
Who
Let
just got
them.
like the first award ever. They got like an award in England. Like it's so
Exactly.
frustrating that like in England they're getting like acknowledged, and in Ireland because they're not perfect people. However, they're selling out the 3 Arena. And
With
we're like,
Snoop-
oh, they're racist.
with Snoop
and that.
Doggy Dogg.
Yeah, but Snoop Dogg. So how like they're working amongst like people of colour.
And look, if they
It's the nature of cancel culture. Nothing is
Exactly.
ever enough. This is the thing. It's like, yeah, they'll go, take down the song. They take down the song, still not happy. And that is that it goes that way with every single person who is cancelled. Like, if you look at, say, for example, someone who has like apologized and taken down things, look at Shane Dawson. Someone who he has been on YouTube, first of all, has reinvented some content on YouTube, reinvented how YouTube was used. He was the one that everyone was making 6-minute long videos before he started making those long ass videos, you know, and he grew up his own content. And as someone who was like, I mean, when this was popping off on Twitter with Shane Dawson, I was like, what's that in Drag Race? Why y'all acting brand new? This has been going on for literally, this is the 4th or 5th time that I have heard these accusations against him. Why are we pretending that we've never heard it before and bringing it up as if it's fresh, as if it's current?
And they were coming at him, right, from his past.
Yeah.
So I always like to fantasize, right? And I know that you do. That it
we have some fantasy VMs sometimes.
But say,
do you know what I'd like to do to her?
If we were, I remember last time we called each other and we were like, imagine what we'd be like on Big Brother.
Oh, I love
that.
So
if someone said something to me that I found very that was offensive, and you know the way you'll find these say on Big Brother, it's happened a couple of times, they'll have a very homophobic tweet from years ago and they'll be we want them gone. As me, I would rather be no, I would rather this person spend time around people of that group and learn and grow instead of kicking them out and giving them fucking resentment.
And it takes time.
And that's how Big Brother started.
It takes time.
The whole point of Big Brother was to put all this people with different views and be able to hash them out and talk.
Exactly.
And, learn through, I would VM Casper Walsh, for example, and I would be I'd be talking. I know, no, but him and his girlfriend are so nice. But I'd be talking about certain, he wants to learn. They're open to learning. They're not stoic in their views. And they're they're open to learn. They understand that they've said some things that apparently offended people. They're not wanting to do that. That's not their aim. They're he's I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm you are a nice guy. I'm but look, we have 5 minutes. We've been talking some bullshit.
Oh yeah, what is it? We've got a few more.
10 minutes.
So 10 minutes. So let's end off on do a 10-15 minute wrap up of how we think it's going to affect dating and relationships. Okay, we've got this is our last little thing. I think that with lockdown, it kind of solidified dating apps. Because I think me and Lindsay always know that people are I don't like Tinder. I don't like Tinder. Tinder's terrible. And I'm well, guess what, bitch? Lockdown just happened and you've got to get on Tinder.
But also, I see a lot of bitches who are not getting dick on the gram saying, I just want the clubs to reopen so I can get some dick again. It's when the fuck did you get dick in the club?
My favourite quote
The only kiss
ever.
I got in the club was from a gay man.
But first of all, you're going to the wrong club if they're all straights in there. Second of all, when was the one thing, I remember someone said this to me before, and I'll take it to my damn grave. They're if you get with someone in a club, the one thing you have in common was that you were both in that club on that night. You were not searching for people with common interests.
Yeah, you both
common
were 22
morals.
on a Saturday. Wow.
Yeah, you both rolled locked into a club. Congratulations, there's your soulmate.
So I secured the D, and that was my my plan. I planned this for...
it's called manifestation.
It is. Thank you, hon. So I was because I don't really like being on my phone that much. My 8 hours a day screen time would say otherwise.
I don't like being on my phone that much.
But I don't like swiping on the Tinder and, just it's such an effort to be talking to them and then But I was okay, when life gives you a lockdown, download every dating app and try and find yourself a fucking
Why
fella.
not?
Am I right? And
when else are you going to indulge in that again?
Well, I was okay, I'm really going to concentrate on this and be looking at the pictures and be is he a nice guy? Is he what I want? Is he nice to his friends? Trying to judge from the pictures instead of just looking babe, and then testing the chatting. Do we get on? Seeing if I can make a connection via dating apps, and it worked randomly. Shocking. But so
guys, Lindsay has a boyfriend if you haven't copped on.
I know, everyone's
she said it in
mad at
every
me for
podcast for the past month and a half.
I got a text 2 weeks ago out of the blue. I have a boyfriend.
So sorry that I'm happy. Apologies, everyone. Would you prefer me to be riddled with depression again?
4 a.m. in the morning. FYI, I have a boyfriend.
Hey, I've got a boyfriend.
We should calm down texting because I have a boyfriend right
So
now.
how do we think this, to wrap up this old potteroony, how do we feel that this will have affected dating and relationships? Any thoughts?
I think it's going to make dating
the gays
more serious.
have already been rallying out the app, so they're ahead of the game as always.
Well, you see, there's just a culture there because you have to remember, 30 years ago, gay people literally had to meet up in fucking drain sewers.
Back to George Michael.
To meet up with people without, the threat of being thrown in fucking jail. So the gay people already have enough trauma as is with their dating culture, and using those apps, it's become a very carnal thing.
Yeah, because it was Grindr and such is more like a secretive thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of trauma that
like you always say that sometimes you'll match with people who have girlfriends, etc.
Absolutely.
It's like
fucking absolutely.
Well, like it's.
But I do it again.
He's like, I won't stop. He's like, where the hell do you think I saw Emmett's picture? That's why Adam's sweating every time Lindsay talks about her relationship.
Stop talking about your boyfriend. He's my boyfriend.
He's like, oh, he likes the apps, all right. The 2-year fellas.
No, but
I finally found a good guy. You're like, oh, he's
I've
good.
never
good in bed.
And I'm like, Adam did that roasting videos, and I'm like, I don't know if Adam knew Evan's name. Now I know why.
I've never met up with anyone that was attached. I'll have you know.
Not that you know of.
When I have twice.
So thoughts? Any thoughts, girlies, on the
What's
effect?
going to happen?
I think, personally, what I think dating 2021 is it's going to be, I think it really put pressure on relationships, and I think, you know, Irish people are notoriously quite conservative, and when we see like British relationships, they move a lot quicker. Like they move in, and if they break up, they move out. So I do think the whole kind of intensity of lockdown and the pressures of couples being apart will make dating quick and updating. So if you want to move in, you move in. I think it will take away that kind of stress over like, is he the one for it? Like,
well, because time has no meaning anymore.
Yeah.
Like we all just had a year where we were sat in our houses.
So if you want to do something, you do it. So
I loved everyone at the start of 2020 being like, this is my year. It's like, well, guess what, bitch? Like shit's not going your way. But like, I agree with you. I think that it's basically given us a perspective that we've never had before, where like time is meaningless. Like, you know,
if you want something, do it now because you don't know.
Because you might be in lockdown again.
And totally. And like definitely for like friends of mine who are like living at home and have boyfriends, they didn't see their boyfriend for 4 months. My friend went for a 2-meter walk with her boyfriend after 4 months. I was like, 2-meter walk. Tell me at least you sucked his dick. For God's sake,
but
a 2-meter dick.
But you know,
he had a dick extension on.
But you know, because the two of you are loved up, okay, and probably will be for the foreseeable.
Touch wood, light a candle.
Wood. But like, there's some of us, okay, and I would speak on behalf of the single people who had to go. I've
been there. You will find someone. Only joking. I hate when people say that.
Fuck you. I am fucking Emmett. But for the people who had to go through this single, and you got to see, like, wipe that fucking smile off your face. For the people who had to.
Just imagining you fucking my man, and guess what? I like it. I like it. 3-way next weekend, baby.
And it was kind of like you had to watch during this kind of time of people having that somebody in their lives. And it kind of, I think for a lot of single people, made us sit back and be like, that seems nice. You know? It kind of, I think, pushed a lot of us forward to be like, okay,
I would
maybe
like that.
I am
Well,
ready
I was single for most of lockdown. And I mean, I had broken up with my fucking toxic ex.
I can't believe you were about to say partner.
I know. Because I was a lesbian. Like, that's so lesbian.
My partner.
My partner in crime. But like, I first, for the like few months, I was actually like, do you know what? Because a lot of my friends, obviously, you know, were arguing with their fellas a little bit in the lockdown. It was a very stressful time.
Okay, stop looking at me when you're saying that.
I'm just
She's like, a lot of my friends were arguing with their partners.
like yourself. But I mean, I was like, if I had not been single, like if my fella hadn't broken up with me before lockdown, guaranteed I'd be in the joy, murder on my hands, because he would have, like, me being locked down with that cunt.
Well, I think that's another thing that it did to a lot of relationships is like the people who were in relationships. You know, I think that if you made it through the lockdown in your relationship, fair fucking play. You've just been through some crazy shit that hopefully we won't have to do for much longer, if ever again. But like, you've literally been sat in each other's pockets, splitting each other's hairs, you know, that way. So
yeah,
I think it's like,
there was no distractions, no distractionary of life.
I think it's like giving people, as you said, it's giving single people a perspective of like, oh, I would like that. Or it could, I think on the other hand, it gives a lot of single people being like, I'm fucking happy just being on my own.
It did actually give me that at the start. I was like, you know, it seems a lot of stress to be always worrying about someone else, and there was like the jobs were coming into it, you know, all that type of shit. But it turns out it's all the same. You can be happy single and you can be happy in a relation.
End of the pod. Adam, I want to ask you something Lindsay and I love to do. Rose and your thorn of the year.
Oh, okay. Well, when you start, let me think.
Jenny, can you do it?
Oh God, I'm terrible at it. I asked the question.
I'll do
you
it,
go.
but-
You're great at it. Go on.
Okay, my mum does it every year. So my rose would be. I am happy that I met a fella. He's so fun, and I've had really bad situations, and it's actually so nice to hang out with someone who's like fun and respectful. And my thorn would be probably crying on the gram. Like I think about that late at night, and I'm like, what was your thought process behind that? As Greg O'Shea said in Love Island. Why camera myself crying? That is so... And I know what I was doing. Yes, it was a vulnerable moment. I wanted attention. That's so pathetic. It's so obvious and it's embarrassing, and that's my thorn.
My rose would be, and I'm going to go down the career route, doing Vicar Street for 2 nights.
Yeah.
Doing it 2 weeks before lockdown.
And we had no clue that lockdown was happening. And by the way, we sold it out.
That's iconic. So that was a great thing to do. My thorn, I'm going to go the IG route too. I regret posting the workout videos. Okay, there I said it.
Oh, that's your only.
Okay,
that's your only regret that you post on Instagram. Bitch.
I appreciate that acknowledgement, because I think, and not that it was your fault, but I think in lockdown 1.0. I mean, I've posted workouts. I'm going to the gym and I'm posting it. But then when you're not working out, you really understand how annoying it is when you see other people work out. You're like, stop.
And also my thorn would be... my thorn would be posting on my close friends about Adam's journal. I'm so sorry. Followers will know.
Thank you. Some healing's been done today.
This is the I'm glad you came today.
This is the red table. Thank you for presenting yourself today, Adam. Okay, do you have a rose and a thorn?
Rose will be, I suppose, nearly a year to the day. 3 of us sitting here.
Yeah. Starting your podcast as well.
Mm-hmm. After a year of us meeting here in Cyprus Avenue.
How fun.
And then becoming like brother and sisters.
I know. Family of the pod.
Mm-hmm,
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thorn. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jenny. Keeping my friendship going with Jenny after what she did with the notebook, the gift. I'm sure you're all aware.
They're all very hurt.
Your thorn was my actions. That is so depressing. I have suffered enough. Release me. Release me from these shackles. Okay,
yes.
Galz. And everyone else who joined in, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much, Cyprus Avenue, for having us and giving us the ability to perform in these weird ass times.
And finally,
get your wet ass pussies and enjoy.
Thank you
2021.
to Adam. Finally, thank you to Adam.
You're so welcome.
Adam is amazing.
Go follow
you gotta listen to his podcast. If you want to laugh your tits off, go listen to Mind Poppers and follow Adam on the gram. He's wickedly funny, and it's a rarity in these days. And we need more of that shit.
So, girls, happy. I was thinking there, how cute. It's the Earth's kind of 21st birthday, 2021. Oh, let's give it 21
kisses. And it's mine next year.
Bye, gal. Bye.